Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Six of Cups, which has everything to do with pleasure. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell when you do. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. Are you huffing me? You little silly. TT, no. No rump in there. Come on. Oh, there you go. You can sit on my shoulder. Okay, maybe not. Okay. Oh. All right, so I see a little face there. What are they doing? So you can see there's a face here, there's the eye, there's the mouth. It almost looks like they're kind of leaning their head back, and it looks like maybe drinking something. Now we have the sun here, we have the moon here. I think of the elixir of life. But yes, I feel it's interesting because when I look at it this way, I was looking and I saw Abraxas, okay? And so if you don't know what that is or who that is really, look it up. This is how should we say, a manifestation of the divine, of God, right? And this one is one of these kind of strange looking allegorical archetypes, and has kind of a chicken's head and snaky like legs, and just kind of a composite of various things. Now, when I think of this deity, this manifestation, Abraxas, I think of kind of Jung's take on it, which is the kind of being the driving force of things. This is not God in the solar form. This is not, the devil in relation to death and trickery and sin and this kind of thing. This is somewhere in between. This is a almost, I would kind of align it with maybe the fire element, a moving force, but also this is the idea of kind of moving past duality, okay, and getting into a place in life where you can start to begin to see that two things that are completely conflicting can both be true at the same time. This is a place where things begin to kind of blur together. There is not necessarily an empirical truth in this place. There's not an end point. There is not something that can tie everything up neatly. It is all kind of flowing and changing, and you know, it doesn't always have to make sense, right? It just doesn't. So we have that, and then we have this person drinking from this bottle of the solar, the lunar, two opposites coming together in union, in a most divine union, and creating the star. Yes, the mixture of these two places, dark and light, and good and evil, and so on and so on and so on. So I see this and I look and I think, you are in a place where, and this makes sense as a Gemini, I don't think this is something that is new to you, but you are in a place where you are seeing things from many perspectives. You're really good at not just taking sides because, okay, I better be on this one or this one, and it's unmoving, right? You are a person that is quite mercurial in that you are shifting. You are able to evolve your understandings, your beliefs, your feelings about things. They change, they change, they change, and there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, I admire this in people. I don't much understand somebody who becomes so dogmatic that they're unwilling to see things from many perspectives, not just another perspective, as many as they can, right? Or to be so afraid of being wrong, or to fail, or, to have not understood something. What limitation that must be, and I think this is something that you absolutely do not live by. You are somebody who is sometimes maybe seems like your stances on things change with the wind. Not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing. Now, let's see. I like the imagery of the drinking it because it kind of is the spirit of the thing coming into play. I think that you like to look at things through feeling, through putting yourself fully into something so that you can understand it from within, and not just kind of, read it on a piece of paper and, okay, this is what I think, You are somebody that needs the experience. You need to feel the sensations and see things in a practical way, in a way that is functioning, so that you are able to find those little subtle nuances. Okay, so I'm looking. We have a person here. We have a person here. What are we doing? I feel like there's a sense of, and we have an animal here looking up. We have another person here who's kind of looking up as well. There seems to be, when I see in the symbols, something with its chin raised and it's gazing towards the sky, I often think that this is a sign of awe. This is the experience of the divine, and you are witnessing it. So I think that there really is a sense of kind of feeling quite magical feeling that you are within a revelation. Something has shifted. Your life seems like it has kind of gone off of the normal course. You are kind of taken into a place that is not familiar, a feeling anyways that is not familiar. I feel like you wake up sometimes recently and it's like you are living in a life that doesn't feel like your own all the time. It's kind of almost uncanny. You look around and you think, how did I get to this place? What are all of these things here? You know, I've spent my life kind of curating this existence, and for some reason, something has just shifted just enough that you feel like it's like almost like a depersonalization. Is this mine? Does this mean, what does this mean that something should be mine? Do I belong here? You know, have I always been here? Is this what it's always been like? Have I just not noticed this feeling? It's like being dislodged suddenly. And I do. I think that this is part of an awakening for you. I feel like this is a time where there is a lot of spiritual growth, but also I think emotional and probably intellectual as well. I know it's interesting to watch children grow up. My daughter, she's almost 4, and when she was a baby, we read a lot, my husband and I. Shout out to Dove and Serpent Tarot. Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul, and he's my lovely, beloved husband. And he's very talented, by the way, and not hard on the eyes at all. So go check out his channel. But yes, we read a lot, and of course everybody kind of does, right? When you have your first child and you, what am I doing? Well, I read a lot about these things. They call them leaps, or they kind of go along with sleep regressions when the child is growing physically, or they're having also a mental development, and it comes kind of in this cluster of different things happening, where they maybe are a little more grouchy, and they're maybe not eating as well, or they're eating more, and they're not sleeping the same, and they're waking up, and just all kinds of stuff. And then, once we kind of get through this regression or leap, they all of a sudden have learned all this stuff. Like, they just know how to do things. You're like, who is this little person emerging from this baby? And they're so intelligent. You can just, see all of these magical developments. And it feels quite like magic. It does. It's something to behold, truly. And so, I had never really been familiar with this phenomenon. I have not been around children a lot in my life. So blessed to have my daughter in my life. She is truly, there's not even words. She's, if you have kids, you understand. They just are something beyond even just a miracle. It just, there is no utterance that could contain how special they are. And so, I think now, having witnessed this, I think this happens with us as well. We have these times where we start to feel just a little, I don't know, not ourselves. Maybe, a little more tired, a little grouchy. But the mind, it's taking in all of this information, and the spirit is taking in all of this information, and we're growing, and we're having these kind of, you know, spiritual downloads and growth and a real metamorphosis. I mean, if you think about even just a caterpillar going into its chrysalis and becoming like a liquid, right? Nothing, like just a kind of oozy or whatever it is, and then coming back together and forming into this completely other thing. And it seems almost kind of brutal, quite violent. The emerging, and then going back in and coming apart and and then coming back together. I mean, it really, it's bizarre, right? It is gorgeous and stunning and brutal. So, you know, I think that this is true of us adults. You know, we go through these periods of time. Oh, it is hard. It is awful. It is, it can be destabilizing. You know, it can make you feel like you're kind of just losing it. Your life does not feel the same. It just doesn't. All of a sudden, you know, have you ever done that? You just, all of a sudden, it doesn't feel like your life that much anymore. And maybe it's in a huge way, and maybe it's in a way that is very, very small and barely perceivable. But it's there, you know, like a stone in your shoe. And you're walking and, oh, I have to get that thing out of there. And so, you know, I think that it's a time of real divine movement for you. And it's not easy. It is not easy. But when the ease comes, and you start to really know, I'm making decisions based on my true will, based on my authentic being. I am doing the things that I actually want to do. I'm living the way that I've always dreamt of. And so often that is not about having a lot of things or, you know, being so rich or whatever. Most often it's little things, little manageable things where we can be present in our life, that there's not so much to do all the time, every moment of your waking life. Doing something, worrying about something, planning something, preparing something, always, never, nonstop. It might feel like success, but is it? I don't know. But we get to these points, and yes, we do. A lot of the stuff washes away. And we start to see what is really meaningful. What is really important. What we think should be important, what people tell us is important, you know, what we've been conditioned by all of the things around us, all of this, you know, other people's visions of life and living, all of it washes away. And then what is left? What is really important to you? And this is where that pleasure comes in. When we are brave enough to live the life, to live the way that we know we must. It maybe will be simple. A little life. I don't know. That's my dream, right? That's where I found happiness, having a little life. And I hope to always have a small life. Nothing impressive at all. I always laugh. There is this line in the movie Garden State where this guy says, what is the word? What is it? He says, like, I like to be unimpressive. That's how I sleep at night. You know, I think that was kind of along the lines. But to me, it's true. I like people to have no expectations of me. Really, very little. Because I always dazzle myself, you know. And it feels good to do the things from my heart. To start very small. To work hard within that. Live a life that, you know, is honest for me. That's all I want. You know, my family, my little life. Some quiet, some music, some art. That's about it. Maybe it's different for you. It probably is. It's different for all of us. But we have to sometimes get really brave and really look at what is it that we want? What do we need? See, I've always thought, I want to live in the city and have a lot of people around me all the time. I want to be an artist. You know, all this stuff. And that was fun. It was so fun. But I could not live that way. It just wasn't for me. And I was too afraid for a long time to try something else. And when I did, I undid myself. I just pulled myself apart. And that was the only way I was going to survive. To start from square one. Now that sounds tiring, but it is. Sometimes that's what we have to do. Now we have a person here kneeling, and it looks like, I just keep thinking it. You know, there is this sense of real magic here. I wonder if you are somebody who is something like some kind of magical worker, magical being. Yeah, maybe like clairvoyant or with vision, but I also think somebody who walks between, something akin to what we call like a shaman. Somebody who has vision, somebody who manifests, somebody who is so very in touch with those elemental forces, those little beings, kind of woven into everything. You know them well. They know you. I think this is a time where you really come into a power that maybe you didn't realize. But I think that there was somebody in your life, or they are still in your life, and they've always seen this in you, and they've always told you, you know, you're going to do something. You are special. You might be, you know, the most visionary person in our family. You might be the most successful person in our little community here. You know, whatever it is. And I don't know that you believe it. I don't know that you really know this about yourself, like in a really a real open way. If you do, I think you keep it quiet. It is something that you whisper to yourself about. I don't think that you wear it as any kind of pride. I think you quietly work towards it. And that's why I think it will be so successful, because I know that you are not doing it for persona. You do it because you have to. Because you just absolutely cannot live without expressing yourself in these ways, exploring these aspects of your ability. Now we also have an F up here. So maybe an F is important. And down here we had a little arrow. I also had a little butterfly and a house. So I kind of feel like there's a reason for you to be going home or staying home. Soon. Something where it's like I think it's like you have to, I don't know, maybe visit home. But maybe you're moving. I kind of almost wonder if you're moving. I think, well, with the arrow, the butterfly, maybe you are rebuilding your temple. You know, when we go through these phases of self-evolution, it is a good time. If you have a physical temple, interior temple, you know, whatever it is, maybe changing things a bit. Changing the colors. Rearranging the furniture, whatever that might be. Keeping a different altar, switching out things in your altar, this kind of thing. Now I'm looking down here and I'm trying to figure out, it looks like we have maybe D-E-N-I, D-E-N-I maybe, or D-E-D-E-N, no, D-E-N, I don't know, something like that. That's what I can get from it, from these letters. All right, we're going to look at the divine doors. These are cards of mystery and inspiration. I like mystery. I like inspiration. I love doors. I have a great love, affinity for beautiful doors. Okay, let's see what this one says. 11, numbers in doubles, synchronicity, and 2. Don't hold back your love, or don't hold back your love now. Life is meant for you. Don't hold back your love now. Life is meant for you. And these cards are cool. This one says, pass this card on. So you can go out there and pass it along to somebody else. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say thank you so much for spending this time with me, Gemini. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. It does. And if you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I love hearing from you. You know, this reading's been a little goofy. I think all of my readings have been a little goofy tonight. I'm feeling a bit silly and tired, and the new moon. I'm really quite affected by that new moon. It's the full moon, usually pretty good. Maybe a little strangeness, you know, as we do. But the new moon, whew, that's the one that I really, I feel just transported when it occurred. I'm always like, okay, I have not been paying attention because I can feel that the moon is hidden right now. It really is affecting all aspects of my life. Lots of strange little magical details emerging here and there and everywhere. All right, I'm going to go ahead again and say I love you. We'll talk in a few days. Take care of yourself and good night.